Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of TYC Showdown. The last few weeks we've been doing different movie categories, but this week I think we are doing something a bit more personal, a bit more for us. One of all of our favourite TV shows is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It has gone on for 14 seasons now and will definitely be continuing into a 15th. So today I have gathered 16 of the best episodes in the entire show, and today I'm joined by Harry.
Hey, it's me, Harry.
And Adam.
Hello, hello. Not doing what Harry did. I'm not doing anything stupid like that.
I thought you were going to do your Swedish plumber line.
Oh, can we restart?
No. So basically, we've just, 16 episodes, and we're going to go through them all in the bracket style of our showdown segment. And I think we should just get straight into it, guys. So we start off with round one with The Gang Broke D versus The Gang Saves the Day.
Can you remind me again what The Gang Saves the Day is again?
It's that one where they're all in the convenience store, and then the robber comes in.
Yeah,
they all get their own different versions of what happens.
I did rewatch The Gang Broke D, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's
so
a really hard one.
It's so fucking good. Like watching it for the first time, like not knowing the ending. It's absolutely hilarious.
Oh, it is probably the best It's Always Sunny twist ending maybe ever.
But that convenience store one, it's pretty.
I think I'll get it started. I think that, The Gang Saves the Day is one of those ever since about season 6 or 7. Every season they've gone for like one sort of different stylistic episode, and sometimes it yields better results than others. But I think that The Gang Broke D is kind of this perfect culmination of 9 seasons of just relentlessly shitting on D, and the comeuppance that Dennis also gets is incredible.
Yeah, that was
so
great.
I'm actually going to take that one. I'm going to take The Gang Broke D.
I'll agree with you, Tarrant, because like I watched it recently. I have seen The Gang Saves the Day, like kind of recently too. But like The Gang Broke D, like it's just the twist ending. It really does it for me. Like it's like when she thinks she's going on Conan, and then the curtains pull back, and she's just in the bar. Like it's
The joke's on you, Dennis. Eat my dick.
And they've got Yule from Breaking Bad pretending to be a comedian that does like diarrhea jokes.
How good is that, isn't it? It's Landslide. Yep. Harry.
I would have to go with The Gang Broke D, I think. Just because it's so horrible how they torment her, but also it's the heart of It's Always Sunny to break down D and to have Dennis as the chump who wasn't in on it.
It's a landslide.
Yeah, we've got The Gang Beats Boggs versus the very first It's Always Sunny sort of feature-length special with Mac and Charlie Die Parts 1 and 2. I think that, The Gang Beats Boggs is kind of perfect from start to finish. Meanwhile, with Mac and Charlie, part 1 is incredible. Part 2's a little weaker because it doesn't focus so much on Mac and Charlie's whole thing, but more so on Dennis's swinger stuff. But, I mean, there's still the stuff of Frank with his sex doll Charlie, which is amazing. But I reckon I'm going to take The Gang Beats Boggs.
You can't beat The Gang Beats Boggs, honestly. I love Boss Hoss and how they outdrink him in that episode. Booyah.
I think I'll have to agree with you guys as well. I think, yeah.
Okay, one of the early ones, one of the early season finales, The Nightman Cometh versus Time's Up for the Gang. That is so hard. That's so hard. I'm going to smack everyone into tiny little pieces. I think it's just kind of, the perfect thing gone. It's everything that can go wrong will go wrong in one episode, and it's so perfect. And as much as I love Time's Up for the Gang and how hot it is in there, Dennis's final speech. I think due to how just significant and iconic it is, I'm going to go with The Nightman Cometh.
Fuck, this one's really hard. But, like, The Nightman Cometh is just listen to Danny DeVito. Like, you got to pay the trolls toll to get into, like, oh, it's...
The boy soul.
It's just so fucking funny. Oh. And it's actually, like, good to, like, sing along to. Like, it's actually...
Yeah. Dayman is a legitimately good song at times.
Yeah, I'll have to go The Nightman Cometh as well.
Okay, that goes through to Harry.
Can you really beat The Nightman Cometh? I really like the social commentary of Time's Up for the Gang, but just the ludicrous nature of Danny DeVito as the Troll Toll, like, it's all just so magnificently insane, and it's got to be Charlie's best episode.
Okay, next one. We've got Thundergun Express, where they try and go to see the film for the first time, or the highest rated episode on IMDb, Charlie Work.
Is that the highest rated one?
Yes, 9.8 on IMDb.
Oh, shit. Oh.
I'm just going to go straight out. I love Thundergun Express and how it shows the different characters and how they get into their situation, but I think Charlie Work, like, especially in that 10 minutes where it's just Charlie doing his whole thing, it's just incredible.
Yeah, the one shot.
So I'm gonna take Charlie Work.
Yeah, I think for the way it was, like, executed, Charlie Work, like, it's really well done. And
like,
just
Frank getting painted completely blacked out in the base.
Ooh.
I do really like Charlie Work, but I feel like Always Sunny is at its best when it's all of the gang kind of screwing one another over. And the best case of that's probably Thundergun Express. So as much of a sort of television feat as Charlie Work is, Thundergun Express is not left behind.
Yeah, I mean,
And Adam?
Thundergun, like, it does sum up, like, the gang to, like, a T, how they just... Every one of them continuously abandons the other just to see just a stupid schlock movie. But, like, oh, fuck. This is hard. I think I'll... the more I want to say Charlie Work, but the more I think about it, I'm leaning towards Thundergun Express with Harry.
So what'll it be? Will it be
I think
Thundergun or Charlie Work?
I'm going Thundergun. Just personally, okay. I like, yeah.
No Man Left Behind, and it moves on to round 2. Okay, next one. This is so hard, this one. The gang goes to the water park, or Sweet D's dating a retarded person.
Oh, no.
Because in the Sweet D episode, that people kind of forget the whole music angle that they take as well.
Yeah.
With, the Pecan Sandies and Chemical Toilet and Electric Dream Machine. But then the gang...
Yeah, it is. I watched
the
it
gang...
a few days ago, yeah.
Yeah, and... yes! And then the gang goes to the water park. Has probably one of the single funniest moments in the entire show with Frank's unfortunate incident on the Thundergun slide.
Oh... This is really hard.
Oh, The Gang Goes to the Water Park is one of my favourites. Like, the Charlie and Frank storyline is so good. Whereas Sweet D's dating a retarded person, I'm not a huge fan of. I definitely enjoy it, but, like, it's got themes that are done better in other episodes, I feel. But Frank bashing out on a drum set is pretty great.
I think I might actually be going for Sweet D's dating a blank person, because I just find that one kind of just this perfect... There's the two stories and both of them fit together perfectly, and just the songs at the end and the reaction that Dennis and Charlie get from performing Dayman to the crowd when they're dressed like David Bowie is so amazing. And Little Kev, and the introduction of Little Kev as well. And all the close-ups of him eating and laughing.
Oh, that was fucking hilarious. Just like his fingers, and then like it pans over to the shot with
He's
him and his
making
mum.
Would you say your son's a special boy? Well, yeah, yes. That's 2 points to me, 0 to you.
And like Dennis just messing with Dee, telling her that he's retarded, and it just goes to show how shallow Dee is.
I know.
Like,
Yes, completely. It shows like and that bit where he's like, oh, he's not retarded. He's not.
Fuck.
God.
Now I've got to pick. But just like Charlie and Frank, like when they're going down the slide, and then
got AIDS.
He's got the blood, and he lands in the pool. I've got AIDS, and
is there AIDS blood in this pool?
And they're walking around the pool, and then they see the kid, and he's like obviously been through chemo, and like,
oh dear, that is an amazing hard cut, isn't it?
Oh, it's so good. I think I got to go the water park one with Harry.
And the water park goes through to the next round. Okay, next round is the mystery episode, Who Got Dee Pregnant, versus an all-time classic, The Dennis System. I'm going Dennis System straight off the bat.
You know, I got to go with you, Taro.
Because as much as I love the unfolding events of finding out that it was Mac, but then it was Charlie, and then at one point thinking it was Dennis. Yeah. But I think the Dennis System's first 10 minutes where this massive sociopath just goes through his system is absolutely horrifying, but totally perfect and reminiscent of what his character is, and how horrible
like
these
that
people
episode
are.
And like the implication scene, and like when they get in the boat, like perfectly encapsulates his character.
Oh my god,
like,
yes.
It's so good.
And the bit where of course we get the introduction of Mantis Toboggan, we get Move In After Completion, all of these just classic bits. So yeah, I think that's a clear winner there. Harry?
The Dennis System is a horrible, horrifying, but very, very, very entertaining episode. So, as much as I love Viggo Mortensen and Luigi and the McPoyles, oh god, I love the McPoyles. It's got to go Dennis System for me.
We heard you gave quite the performance, Ronald.
Oh, one of the most quotable lines from the show.
Great. Okay, next one. We've got Mac and Dennis move to the suburbs versus the gang tries desperately to win an award. Both of these are fantastic episodes. One, of course, riffing off The Shining, and the other one riffing on the fact that Sonny get no attention from the Emmys. When I think they deservedly... They really should get at least some sort of credit, because they are one of the most inventive shows on TV. There's like Charlie's song at the end. I think the best moment though is when they're making fun of shows like The Office, Parks and Recreation, when they go to when they're going to the bar, the Suds bar, and there's the whole sort of the will they, won't they couple. I think it's kind of just this genius commentary on just the state of all of this television today and how they're different, and like the whole thing of trying to get Mac and Dee into a fake relationship. And I've had tons of orgasms, dude. I've had one with your mom. I think though, Mac and Dennis move to the suburbs is kind of just like the perfect psychotic breakdown of two guys of one guy who loves the other and one who absolutely despises him. So I've got to pick it purely for that. Like, how could you not hear that? Newsflash, asshole! I've been hearing it the entire goddamn time.
Or just when he like goes off at Wally, like in his like
and he takes off his
thing.
clothes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's fuck.
Or Dennis Jr.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he tells him that he put the little dog in the mac and cheese. And he just laughs at him.
Oh god.
I think Mac and Dennis Move to the Suburbs is the one I've rewatched the most. Like, I love rewatching that one. It's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I've got to go with
Harry?
that one.
I love how meta the gang tries to win an award desperately is, but then again, Mac and Dennis moving to the suburbs and Mac trying to be this domestic housewife and failing so bitterly at all of them is just so funny. So yeah, it's Mac and Dennis move to the suburbs.
Oh, the bit where he takes photographs of Dennis like eating at Applebee's. Okay, now we've got next one is the gang dances their asses off versus Reynolds v Reynolds, the serial defense.
Oh, that's
The gang dances their asses off was never really one that clicked as great in my mind, whereas Reynolds v Reynolds is one of the best bar debates they have, with all the sort of the cardboard that they lay out and they're all sort of trying to screw one another over and all that jam. So it's got to be Reynolds v Reynolds.
Right, but I think the gang dances their ass off is a peak Charlie episode. Like him lasting 12 hours after eating a energy bowl packed with sedatives, where he's going karate, snap machine, chop, while drooling on the ground, and the ultimate downfall of cricket. And that's kind of like the episode from those first 3 seasons where it's just like every single person who's been there kind of comes into play in this one episode. However, Reynolds v Reynolds made one of the greatest scenes in the show of the whole, what was it? The God's creation versus evolution.
Oh. Yeah, just Mac and stuff, and like they're always just like constantly on the fence. Like they go to one side, then just go to the other side for like stupid reasons, and like it's all just over a bowl of cereal spilling in the car because Frank crashed into him because he can't drive.
I think it's kind of like that perfect thing of where they say, okay, we cut our argument time in half from 8 down to 4 hours. Like this is kind of what they talk about. So I'm going with Reynolds v Reynolds.
Yeah, I've got to go Reynolds v Reynolds as well.
All right, so that wraps up round 1. Now we head to round 2, where it only heats up from here.
Yes,
with round 2, we've got the gang broke D versus the gang beats Boggs.
I'm going to back the gang broke D, just for like the surprise element at the end, and just like it really just shows how shit the gang treats D, like,
I know.
perfectly. Like it actually like makes you feel like really sad at the end as well.
Yeah.
And then like how like Dennis is just like completely uninvolved, and I love that episode so much.
I'm going to actually go with the gang beats Boggs with just, I think, the end of that one where with Charlie and Mac on the baseball field. With the Charlie subtitled, everything is just so perfect, and the whole thing about Dennis getting off in, what was it, North Dakota, which eventually led to his secret family. I'm going to take that one.
Oh, it's all down to you, Harry.
As much as I love the gang breaking D, the gang beats Boggs, where Frank's just having his mental decline as no one believes he's a pilot or a doctor, and he passes out after like 12 beers. So funny. So sorry D, but you just got broke.
Alright, gang beats Boggs moves through to the semi-finals. Next we have the Nightman Cometh v Thundergun Express. I'm just going to make this real quick. I'm going to go Nightman, sorry.
Oh. Shit. I think I'll go Nightman Cometh as well. Just like how desperate Charlie is to get the waitress. He does this like massive theatrical performance, and then he proposes to her at the end, and it's just a hard no, and just walks away.
Love confession at the end.
It's...
Will I marry you? Seriously? Give me that. Dude, do you have a boner? Don't ruin this for me.
The Nightman Cometh with no hesitation, unfortunately leaves behind Thundergun Express. I really can't say much more about it. Soz, Dolph.
Now we've got the gang goes to the water park versus the Dennis system.
Oh no.
Yeah, like the gang hits the road or gang goes to Jersey Shore. I think that the Dennis system is kind of like the perfect storm of what happens when all of the characters are in play in that second half, added with the perfect first half. Whereas the gang goes to the water park is like, yeah, the Frank and Charlie stuff is like easily the best stuff. Whereas where it's, you know, the other two storylines aren't as funny as that one. Meanwhile, with the Dennis system, it's kind of all kind of perfect, with Charlie trying to get with the waitress, Dee trying to get with Ben, the soldier, and then Dennis trying to win back the girl, but then Max also trying to win her, and then Frank is also trying to win her. So I'm going Dennis system.
Yeah, I think you got to go Dennis system because it's like wholly consistent throughout the entire episode. Whereas like in the water park episode, Mac and Dee's parts like not as funny, kind of like brings down a little bit, not too much.
Sherman,
like,
did you pee?
But yeah, got to go the Dennis system.
Alrighty, and Harry?
Ooh, I'm going to have to disagree because I love the Dennis system, but the gang goes to the water park is so brilliant in my mind. I know it's for nothing, but I'm sticking with my guns on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. And the final matchup of round 2, we've got Mac and Dennis move to the suburbs versus Reynolds v. Reynolds, the serial defense.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no. This is a hard one to choose. These are both really solid episodes.
They're both top tier episodes.
Ooh, Mac and Dennis move to the suburbs is great for Mac and Dennis, but like the rest of the gang's not really doing anything. There's the bit where they don't explain what the bit they're doing is, but Reynolds v. Reynolds has everyone involved and it's all so funny, and like Max somehow convinces them evolution might not be real. They go on the fence because of that, and Charlie's an expert in bird law. Like, what's not to love? So I gotta stick with Reynolds v. Reynolds, even if it's gonna lose.
Well, yeah, they're not really in it.
Well, they don't. They're not really in it. They're just like they come in with and they're wearing Russian hats, and you know it. Like it, they literally say you had to be there for it.
Yeah.
So like we don't get it.
And then
either.
there's the whole thing with like the old man they have to sleep with.
Yes.
And then like Mac keeps like pointing out it's an old black man, and it's just like, oh, it's so wrong.
Just say old man. Just say old man.
I got to go with the suburbs one because I rewatched that one the most. Ooh.
I think I'm gonna go with the suburb episode. So that goes through to the semi-finals. So now we've got it with Mac and Dennis moves to the suburbs through. And our first semi-final is the gang beats Boggs versus the Nightman Cometh. I think, for me, I've just always loved the Nightman Cometh. I think just the way, just the whole spectacle, or the anti-spectacle of this whole terrible production is so perfect for the characters, and like seeing Max doing his karate moves and Charlie's final grand proposal, and just kind of, it's this perfect thing of It's Always Sunny where they always feel like they're building up to some massive change. However, at like the last second, everyone gets this massive reality hit and then get brought down to earth. And I think The Nightman Cometh is one of the best examples of that. So I'm going with that episode.
I gotta disagree. The gang beats Boggs it's like the first episode I ever watched for some reason, and it's the episode I've watched the most. I get that Nightman Cometh is probably better, but in my heart I have to stick to my guns, and I gotta go Boggs. I can't let it get bogged down. But I know Nightman Cometh is going through.
Alright. Like, while I do love the gang beats Boggs, but like whenever I like want to rewatch and get back into It's Always Sunny, I like one of the episodes I always go back to is the Nightman Cometh. Like, it's just like Mac wanting to like get into the bed with like Dennis like on stage and just I just fucking love it. And like just singing the song. Just
yeah.
It's so good. It's got everything for me.
And Dee's little riff song after her song about falling in love with the tiny boy.
Tiny boy, tiny boy.
Ooh. Ah. Nightman. Yeah, so Charlie's ultimate fear, the Nightman, moves into the final. So now we've got the second semi, the Dennis system versus Mac and Dennis move to the suburbs.
Ooh, you see, the Dennis system is just the perfect psychotic in the bar episode. As much as Reynolds v. Reynolds is that, the Dennis system is that to a T. And the monster condom for his Magnum Dong is one of the greatest lines of all time.
I think the Dennis system breaks down his psyche like
a lot
better,
more.
And it's like more him.
It's more gang-centric as well.
Yeah. Like
it kind of points out how horrible they are when it comes to romance, and how, you know, Dennis is a psychopath, Mac is just, Mac and Frank are both, just hunting for scraps. Charlie only ever has eyes for one woman, and Dee is just always going off whatever, is always acting based on purely on what Dennis says another guy's doing to her. So I'm going to take the Dennis system.
Yeah, I want to go with the Dennis system, like, mainly because, like, it's more well-rounded around the gang. It's, like, more gang-centric, and I think it always functions better when you've got the whole gang. Like,
yes.
Mac and Dennis move to the suburbs, it's, like, it's hilarious, like, but it's, like, it's just focusing on Mac and Dennis. Like, it's still really good, but I think the show functions a lot better when it's the whole gang.
The entire gang,
Yeah.
So Dennis system into the final, and it was going to be against the Nightman Cometh. So guys, what's your pick for the greatest Sunny episode? Yeah,
this kind of comes down to your personal preference of like which character you like the most.
I will say that Dennis Reynolds is one of my favorite. It's for me, it's him and Joe Bluth from Arrested Development, who are my two favorite sitcom comedy characters of all time. I think that one of them is a horrible psychopath. Not horrible, is a horrible sexual sociopath who is completely self-centered, and the other is, and the other one is a completely unself-aware. He's unself-aware, but so cocky about it, and it's Will Arnett. So that's why. But I think that the Dennis system is kind of that perfect balance of all of the gang and my favorite character. It's kind of all of the gang centered around my favorite character, which is Dennis. So that's why I'm going to take Dennis, and kind of just the breakdown of his horrifying sociopathic ways.
Jeez, not surprised it came down to these two in all honesty, but this is really difficult. Well, because one of them's definitely Charlie's best episode, and one of them's Dennis's best episode. I personally have got to say I prefer the crazy Charlie episodes over the psychotic Dennis episodes. They kind of leave me feeling a little bit less scarred, and the whole gang always ends up going down the rabbit hole. But like in the end, these are both brilliant episodes.
Right, so it's down to me then. I love both these episodes so much. Like, I think they're like perfect It's Always Sunny episodes. They're both like really fucking solid. But I really prefer Dennis episodes over Charlie. I agree with Tara. Like, Dennis is just, he's one of my favorite characters of all time. Like, him and George Costanza, they're it's fucking just hilarious. Just Dennis is just the most sociopathic, vain, just like, I don't even know how to describe him. Like, he's just so disgusting and disturbing, but I love watching him.
I think
Like-
another perfect episode is Who's Gonna Do the Dishes, where he's kind of leading this whole psychological analysis of the team, and he's got notes he wrote on D from the 7th grade and stuff like that. It's just so great.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 Dennis systems and 1 The Nightman Cometh, so that means that the Dennis system goes through as the winner of the best It's Always Sunny episode. I can see your tears, Harry. But unfortunately, unfortunately for The Nightman Cometh, it ends just as the episode did, in horrifying rejection. But anyways, yeah, that's it for our bracket for this week. The best It's Always Sunny episodes of all time, and on a group subjective level, the Dennis system claimed victory, and it will now separate entirely as the champion of the episodes. So thank you for watching, guys. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Young Cynics. You can also listen to this episode in audio form on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, and Podcast One, where all other good podcasts are found. I've been Tyrone.
I've been Adam.
Well, I've been Harry from the Young Cynics. Have a blast, booyah, cowabunga, and I'm running out of catchphrases. Please send help.
Play ball!